Hey, welcome to Intern Connect, the podcast where we prove the best place to launch your career might be closer than you think. I'm your host, Karen George, the program manager for Hello West Michigan. Whether you're halfway through your first internship, still figuring out what to do with your life, or just trying to find a coffee shop that isn't a 45-minute drive away, this podcast is for you. West Michigan is having a moment. From the lakeshore to downtown Grand Rapids, companies here are doing big things, and they want you to be a part of it. Each episode, we'll sit down with former interns who turned their summers into careers, local coordinators who know what it takes to stand out, and HR leaders who are actively looking for the next generation of West Michigan talent. Consider this your pregame to the West Michigan Intern Connect conference happening this June. Now let's get connected. It is a beautiful day in West Michigan. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you finally don't need a jacket. Today I'm here with the Employer Development Manager from Grand Valley's Career Center, Cindy Brown. Thank you for joining me, Cindy.
Thanks for having me, Karen.
I'm really excited to have you in here today to talk about your career journey and about your experiences and how those can be used by our interns to help them succeed in their career. So to start off, can you tell us a little bit about your career journey from where you started to where you are now?
Absolutely. And thanks again for having me. I grew up in the Tri-Cities area, so it's the Saginaw area over in the Great Lakes Bay region, and I did not want to go to college. And so my mom actually applied for me because when I'm old and used to write them out, your applications, and she actually wrote it out and then I signed it. And her big selling point was I bet you could play a sport there because I was in athletics. And so ended up going. It was the best thing I ever did because I had a lot of opportunities there. I got to play basketball and softball. And the biggest, most important, most amazing thing that I was able to do was an internship at Walt Disney World. And I was the homesick kid. So for me to be 2.5 hours away from home and then go to a different state and to go do that was mind-boggling. But it helped me grow up. It helped me understand business a lot more. Back in the day, Disney was the best in customer service. So I wanted to go there because I knew I'd do something in business. So my degree is business administration from Aquinas. And I knew that I wanted to do something. And if you're going to be in business, you should know good customer service, which at that time was Disney. So after that, I moved back home. I did a short stint as a restaurant manager and then started a very lengthy career at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. My husband and I moved to Grand Rapids. He actually came from New York. We met on that internship. So that was kind of fun too. So that was another bonus about the internship was meeting him. And then I was there for a long time, got into human resources. I loved Enterprise. Enterprise, you make money based off of your merit. And it was you as a female back in the 90s, there was a lot of males at our organization. It didn't matter. It was based off what you did. And as an athlete, I loved that. I absolutely loved it. So left there as the human resource manager and then I was commuting to Lansing, so took a job here in Grand Rapids, actually as the internship initiative project manager for the West Michigan Strategic Alliance. So at that time, we helped create internships. We came up with a training program, came up with training opportunities for our employers to learn how to host interns at their location, which then would help them either hire them or those students would then maybe stay in the area because they saw that there was great opportunity. After that, went to Hello West Michigan, did that for a bunch of years. I had a stint here at the right place as Vice President of Talent Initiatives, and now my current role is at Grand Valley State University in the Career Center.
That's awesome. What a journey. So tell me a little bit about the biggest takeaways from that journey when you made all those pivots from Hello West Michigan to Enterprise. What were the biggest lessons for you?
Relationships. Relationships matter. My current role right now, I met the director 22 years ago. I was a person at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I had a question about something for the College of Business at Grand Valley, so set up a meeting, met, and then they actually had Troy there as someone from the Career Center to give his opinion, and we met, and we had a great conversation, and after that he said, I'd love to work with you someday. And I said the same thing. So during that whole journey, everything I've done worked with candidates and employers, and I had that opportunity to meet with him a lot. He would call me up some days and say, hey, Grand Valley, we're thinking about doing this. I would call him up and say, hey, I'm meeting with employers and they're thinking this. And we would have that discussion. But then when it was time for me to take another opportunity, I had an opening and here I am today. So it's the relationships that are big. It's networking, but it's keeping those relationships from day one all the way to where you are today. And then taking something from each of those opportunities. When I was at Disney, you learned what a guest is. You learned guest services. You learned being on stage. So it is very rare in my 30-some year career that I've ever been late because you adapt for that, Same thing with customers. You want positive intent. So you focus in on the things that you learned from way back and you utilize it in all those opportunities as you go.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, taking something from every location, every experience, even if you don't continue in that career. I love that. So you mentioned you were in Saginaw, you went to Florida for a bit. So how did you end up back in West Michigan and what keeps you here?
Yeah, it didn't get us here. It was the snow. My husband's from Rochester, New York, and that is no joke. He came and visited. I was gone the fall semester, came back, and he came to visit me in January. So he drove to Grand Rapids, met my friends, met everybody at Aquinas, and then we drove home for that weekend. And there was a lot of snow here. There wasn't that much snow in Saginaw. So as we were trying to figure out where we were going to live, he said, if we moved to Michigan, would you mind moving to Grand Rapids? There's more snow there. I'm like, all right. Now, I don't know if that was the smartest decision. I'm not. I grew up here, so I love Michigan. I love the seasons, but some of them go a little long. And if you layer, you're good. And I love layering, and we do a lot in the winter. So it's kind of funny. That's the reason.
That's funny.
What keeps us is the proximity to Lake Michigan. The sunset side of the state is beautiful. There's so many things you can do. There's so many parks. There's so many things that you can just go and just observe and go check out. So we're still only 2 hours away from my family, but you're also only 2.5 hours from a Tigers game or going to Chicago or going up to Traverse.
Absolutely.
So I think that is really why we stay.
Yeah, it's a great central location. I love that your husband came here for the snow. It scares people, but I love the snow. I couldn't imagine living somewhere where there wasn't snow. And you do a lot of work with, obviously, West Michigan employers, and so you have a lot of familiarity with the West Michigan job market. Can you tell me a little bit about the job market and the culture here and what unique opportunities for students and for young professionals?
Absolutely. We're different. We have so many family-owned businesses, right? I think that's the big plus. Second is a lot of our employers, we have the biggies. I mean, we have like 20, 25 companies that have over 2,000 employees, right? We have those. We also have so many in between, from the 1 and 2 person shops all the way up. And I think that's what makes us unique. And I think geography too. You can go 50 miles in 50 minutes, right? Whereas Chicago or those larger cities, you're going 4 miles in 50 minutes or whatever it is. There's more options of opportunities, I think, personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a couple other cool things is because so many people want to live here and there's so many cool things, we look at stuff a little bit differently here. Nationally right now, there's conversation that there's no entry-level jobs. We heard that in December. We got a group of employers together, brought them in, had a conversation with them, and found out they're hiring entry level, and they don't agree with that statement. And I didn't agree with it, but we needed the professionals to come in.
Yeah.
Because our first destination survey shows that our students are getting jobs in entry level positions.
Yeah.
Now they look different because of AI and other things, but they're still coming in and being able to go work, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes you don't find that in some of those larger cities. So I think our area is very unique, where you could go to work in a geographic area like a Holland or Grand Haven or in between or a Grand Rapids, and you're going to see different stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's not all just the big city. There's all these other subdivisions and there's all these other rural areas as well. So there's a both.
Yeah. There's something for everybody.
There is.
So how can interns use their internship to explore whether a specific field might be right for them or a company? How can they determine whether it's a good fit?
This is the important piece. If a student's going to go out and want to do an internship with an employer, you're showing them what you got. Right? You're showing them what you have, but then those employers should be showing them what they have too. So hosting the internship training sessions help employers understand how to manage interns or supervise them or things to do with them. But then on the student side too, the important piece there is you should be meeting as many people as you possibly can, right? Understand who they are. Ask for opportunities to learn about different pieces to that business because you want to learn what you're doing and you want to give good work there and treat it as a full-time job. They tell you 9 o'clock, you got to be there early. If they tell you this is how they need to dress, you need to follow the rules, right? And do all of those things. But then you want to lean in. There's a lot of talk right now that students or young professionals are coming in, just doing their job and leaving. That's not how you're going to get ahead. And that's not how you're going to learn if there's other opportunities available.
Absolutely.
It's like etiquette too, like business etiquette. You want to show that you know your stuff so that if someone hears about a job opportunity, they're going to be like, hey, you're an intern right now, but the worker might have this full-time or one of our vendors might have a full-time opportunity. I see that you're dependable, all these things. You should apply.
Absolutely. So what would your advice be for an intern who finishes their internship and realizes that's not what they want to do at all?
Yeah, they'll probably realize that before the end. So if you realize it as soon as you get there, stick it out, do good work, and get the good recommendation. and then see what else other opportunities there are there. If it's a large company and you went in for finance and you're like, geez, this isn't for me anymore, there could be supply chain or other departments that you might want to go look at. But if it's to the end and you're like, this isn't for me, depending on where they are in their journey, through their college career, do they have the opportunity to try another internship, maybe at the same place if it's big enough or not? Do they have the opportunity to ask questions when they leave and just say, hey, this isn't for me? Still refer people that you know that might be interested. Keep that relationship really good, because you never know down the road, there might be an opportunity there. So you don't want to burn any bridges. You want to make sure that you're giving it your all and then have that opportunity to potentially come back, maybe in a different way.
Absolutely.
But if it isn't for you, they'll find out. They're going to know that pretty early on, and then talk to the supervisor too. Hey, this wasn't what I thought, or I thought accounting was more going out. Maybe that's the audit side, or maybe that's not the tax side. So I think it's just trying to it's not a bad thing if you don't, this is a positive that you figured it out that before you got into that full-time career.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to get there and then realize that you don't like it. That certainly happens, but it's better to find out earlier, for sure. So we've heard a lot from interns that they need help understanding the mindset shift of going into a full-time job from school, because obviously that's a big cultural change to go through, and a lot of students deal with imposter syndrome. So do you have any suggestions or pieces of advice for students who are experiencing that transition?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So I think with the overall transition, you have to be all in, right? We have a statement at our office, be present to win. And we tell our students that, we tell our employers that. But from the student perspective, then it's different than college. So if you have 3 other roommates and they're still going through their college years, understand that they're coming in at 2 and 3 in the morning and you're not. Or you might try it at the beginning, but you might not be able to sustain that, right? So understanding that it's a full commitment, that I'm not just working 30 hours or 40 hours or 20 hours part-time, but now I'm full in, and this is what I need to do, and I might need to change my habits to be able to support that. So I think that's a big thing. I struggle with imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I really do, because I think all of us, there's a lack of confidence sometimes.
Yes.
Right? And totally understand. If you're a student and you've been told what to do, your syllabus tells you what to do, and the faculty and professors tell you when things are due or whatever, and I know I can get a C if I do this. Work is different than that. So I think if you read a job description and you don't think that you're that person, or you're blown away that they would hire you because I only matched 50% of what they were looking for, those are the hard skills. The other part that you're bringing to the table is the 50% of those professional skills or soft skills, your energy, your excitement, all of those things.
Yeah.
So you may not know that and you have to learn it, but you're still bringing other stuff that they saw to the table. And so I think the big thing is it's about the confidence. It's about understanding that who you are, being realistic on what you're watching and seeing. And I'm going to throw out social media. We hear a lot about the influencers, these influencer jobs, and there's these people that say, my job is this awesome thing. That's a billboard. When you drive down the road, all the billboards are all happy, or they're telling you something. They're telling you something about the organization or whatever, just like their websites are. That's the positives.
Yeah,
right?
They're selling you something.
Yeah, and that's exactly what a lot of people that are saying that they have these really cool kick-butt jobs and this great stuff. There's also the other stuff that they have to do too, but they never mention that. So I think there's unrealistic thoughts about what a job should be.
Absolutely.
And then the student goes into that full-time job as a new hire, and it's like, wow, I don't think I know enough.
Yeah.
Yet you do. You just put yourself through college, or you just went through that rigor of college and extracurriculars and studying and all of those things. And so you have that ability. You just have to understand that you
Absolutely. And I would add that unless you're lying on your resume, they know what you're capable of, and they hired you anyway. So absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love all of that. So I know interns often hesitate to speak up when maybe something feels wrong or upsetting at work. So what would you tell students about finding their voice and being able to have those difficult conversations?
Yeah, and there's a lot of full-timers that have that same problem, right?
For sure.
You see something that's going wrong and you're like, is it my place? So I think as supervisors, as the adults, the people that have been around for a while in the organizations, making sure that we share that message, that we want you to stop. We want you to say, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because on a positive thing, the organization might be doing the same process that they've always done. But since I graduated college, there's been a lot of technology and a lot of things that have helped out to make our jobs a little bit easier, or make conversations different or easier or more efficient or whatever. So we look to our folks that are coming in entry level to say, hey, this is the way we've been doing it. What suggestions do you have? So on a positive, the more you can say, the better, but be confident, not arrogant about it. Right?
Absolutely.
There's generation gaps. Don't rip on the Gen Xer or whoever because they don't understand their phone, but show them how to do it, right? And speak up and say, hey, can I show you something that I figured out? And be cool about it when you're doing that. And I think when you see maybe some negative things or those things happening, or I'm not getting enough work, the voice is really important then. Absolutely important, where you go to your supervisor and say, hey, I just saw something that happened that I'm not 100% sure of.
Yeah, absolutely.
The communication is the big thing. And I think communication and being able to have those conversations with your boss is amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, the communication is huge. And it can be difficult sometimes, but it just takes practice. So one of the biggest things we've been hearing from interns is that they know how important it is to network. We talk about all the time, relationships, building a network, all that, but they need guidance on how to actually do it. Do you have a networking secret that you implement in your own networking experience?
Yeah. I think people are hiding behind the fact that since COVID, we have a lot of people that think they're introverted.
Yeah.
Okay. My assessments all show that I'm introverted. Okay. I don't need other people to get me excited.
Yeah.
With that being said, people think introvert and extrovert is you're either outgoing or you're not. That's really not what it is, right? It's how you get excited and what do you need from people to get excited?
Yeah.
So for me, like I did a training session this morning. I had 20-minute drive to get here, which was awesome. It gave me 20 minutes to regroup. And because that's exhausting for me.
Yeah.
I give it my all, I do it, and that's it. So I think that there's a lot of students and there's a lot of people that are out there that are like, geez, I can't go meet people because I'm introverted. I teach a class, I have 16 students first year, and I'm hearing that from students. In fact, their assessments were all introverts.
Oh, wow.
But they're using that as, I can't go to a career event or I can't go talk to an employer because I just can't do that. That's not me. I'm introverted. Okay. My job is to talk to people and do these trainings and do things like this. So I'm very good at it. I have to be able to adjust in my head. Just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you can't talk to people.
Yeah.
So that networking and it's about relationship building. If I talk to all my students and say, hey, what do you want to do for a living? All of them are somehow talking to people. So I have to relate it back to them to say, if you want to be a nurse, you have to talk to people.
Yeah.
So the quicker you learn how to just go up to an employer or whoever and have those conversations or talk to people, the stronger you're going to become.
Absolutely.
And yeah, if you have to take 20 minutes to go regroup and take time for yourself to give that energy back, listen to music, do something.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to be. But if you're choosing a job or whatever career that you're going to be focused on dealing with people, you have to be able to network.
Absolutely.
An easy tip, our director does this. What's your hometown?
Yeah.
Finding that out, people get excited or they don't, right? And if they get really excited, tell me about something that I don't know about where you lived. Tell me something about it. What are you proud of?
Absolutely.
Right? And I think and I've started to do that one a lot, but any type of season, right? What's your favorite ice cream?
Yeah.
Doing something like that's kind of relatable to whatever the situation is, that gets people talking about themselves.
Absolutely.
And that's where then there's that give and take, and you don't realize that you've just networked with somebody.
100%.
When you had that conversation.
It's just small talk a lot of the time.
And
then it builds up into something more, and then you find out that you're from the same hometown or that you know somebody that they know, or it builds from there. So just starting with those small.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think networking, I need to only network when I need something. And it's like, no, you want to just build relationships because they might need something down the road, or yes, maybe down the road you might need something.
Yeah.
But you also are able to connect people. And that's really important to me, is if someone comes in and they said that they're interested in whatever the job or whatever, my big thing is how can I help them? And the biggest way is connecting them with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think networking is a long game, right? You're not networking so that tomorrow you'll get a job offer from one of these people. You're networking so you build the relationship so that 5 years from now, they will be able to connect you to the right person.
It was 20 some years before we're working together.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. So wrapping up here, thank you so much for being here today. Tell us a little bit more about where people can follow your work or connect with you if they're interested in asking questions or in connecting with you as an intern or employer.
Grand Valley, our Career Center webpage, I've got contact information on there. It's very simple. It's brown.cin@gvsu.edu. I'm also on LinkedIn. But with the LinkedIn, send me a note. Tell me why you want to connect, right? So we can have a conversation. I like doing that a lot more than just the transaction side of it. It's more about that relationship side.
Yeah.
And we work with employers that are interested in creating or developing, enhancing internship programs. We really want our students to have opportunities. And when I say our students, it's every student that's in West Michigan.
Finally, I want to address your West Michigan favorites. Your favorite restaurant, favorite coffee shop, any hidden gems that you'd like to recommend.
So if it's a hidden gem, and I tell you, it's not going to be a hidden gem anymore.
But
our hidden gem, my husband, it's Kirk Park over on Lake Michigan. Great place to go. Usually less people until now, I told you. But besides that, I think any of the small parks along the lake. We have an older Corvette, so we take a lot of drives.
Very nice.
And a lot of times we'll end up driving out to a park just to hang out. The best time to go, I think, though, is winter, fall, spring, before the crowds all get there just to see the lake because it's so different at all times of the year.
Absolutely, for sure.
I'm not going to say a favorite restaurant because that's not really us, but my favorite ice cream store is Mooville out in Zeeland.
Okay.
They do some really cool stuff like breakfast. Ice cream for breakfast day. They do an Advent calendar, so you can have 25 different ice creams throughout Advent. So they do different things like that.
Oh, that's super
and they have
cool.
different days, and that's really good ice cream, local.
Awesome.
Really good.
Amazing. All right, and thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us today. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I know that there's going to be students and employers that are going to be listening, and probably parents. Encourage the students to do the internships. Employers, send your students to the West Michigan Intern Connect events. The more they learn about the area, if you ever wanted people to stay in the area, let them see other people like them, age-wise. Let them see the employers that are really focused on keeping our talent here, or letting them go and then bringing them back. There's always that too, but we're all in this together. If we want West Michigan to keep growing, we all need to talk to our students and our adults about all the opportunities that are out here.
Amazing. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Intern Connect. If you haven't already, make sure you're registered for the main event, June 10th at the Amway Grand Plaza in Grand Rapids. It's the state's largest conference for interns, and it's going to be a day full of real conversations, real connections, and real opportunities. And the fun doesn't stop there. The Intern Connect social series keeps the momentum going all summer long with Bocce Night at Silva GR on June 16th and an evening at Millennium Park on July 15th. Head to hellowestmichigan.com to register and get all the details. We'll see you there.